Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Heroes Charge. Today we're going to take a few moments, and I know this is about a day late, and I really wanted to get it out the day that it was released, but I wanted to take some time and I wanted to just kind of talk about the new feature on Heroes Charge, War of the Gods. Um, this was the main new feature that was introduced to the game in the last release that took place 2 days ago. And hopefully, we can kind of look at this together and, we can discover some things, right? So, as with all new features, there is definitely a learning curve with everybody, with myself included. And, hopefully we can kind of take a look at those things. So, basically, here is War of the Gods. And I don't want to spend a lot of time just talking about boring stuff and showing you blank screens and whatever. So we'll actually kind of get into it here in just a second. But basically, what War of the Gods is here is this is an opportunity for players to fight and battle to gain extra resources here. So you can see my level is 2. I've tested this out once myself, honestly, um, and was able to win a battle. So we'll kind of go through that in a second here. But basically, this is the brief rundown. For heroes that you have available, they are maxed out. So they will be automatically placed at the top at 105, as that's the current level limit. And they are fully geared and ready to go. So that way, basically what you're looking at is you're looking at an even playing field, between you and your opponent. So you kind of compete over this stuff. As you win, your rank will increase or your level will increase and your rewards will get better. But this is the gist of what the rewards look like. They include resources for the hero's camp, and some gear fragments and things like that. So to increase or complete gear sets and so on and so forth. So let's just take a look at it. So here they have a set of free heroes for the day. I can attest to the fact for sure that this list changes. So for basically players who don't own these heroes, this list will cycle through, and you can utilize these heroes as you go. So let's take a look here. So we're going to go ahead and we'll search an opponent. Now the one thing to keep in mind here with War of the Gods is that this is all real time. So it's going to take a second here because it is searching for another player online who will be able to match up with me and fight me real time. So here it is. It looks like we found this guy, Holmes. He's going to go ahead and be my opponent. So now it's up to me. But what happens here is you have to take turns in selecting, right? So I get to select one hero, so I'm going to go ahead and select Dwarf Warrior. Now the opponent will get to select heroes off this list. So essentially what happens is you guys select off of the same list of heroes. So it gives you some idea of what's happening here, so we can see what the free heroes look like and all that kind of stuff. But as you can see now, my opponent selected Dwarf Warrior and Desert Lycan. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with Bear Warrior, and let's go with Fallen Dominion. So now again, it'll be his turn to select 2 heroes, my turn to select 2 heroes. We'll go from there. So as you can see, they put a timer countdown. So to be honest, this only being my second time. Oh, there we go. Let's see. 2 more heroes here. Based on the setup, let's see. I could probably do we'll try this Ninja Warrior and again, I'm gonna say when put on the spot and given a lot of these options, because of course I don't have heroes that I use on a daily basis that are at legendary or geared this high or anything like that. But we'll see here. So we'll let him select his final 2. There we go. So I just get to select my substitute. So we'll kind of get into this in just a second here about what exactly the substitute is. So we hit OK. So there we go. Our teams have been selected. So this is just an all-out, just kind of like an arena battle, except you have to win you win 2 rounds. So here it shows you your team. So instead of 5, you have 6 heroes. The first 5 that you choose come out to battle, like you're seeing here. So I am on the right, and my opponent is on the left. It is auto fight, so we just kind of let him go at it, and we'll see how this works out. So again, very much like Arena, the biggest piece here is that you're selecting teams. That's where our biggest impact comes in. So that was a pretty good shot there. My Ninja Assassin went down though, which is not so good. But see, once the Ninja Assassin goes down, now my Succubus has come to life. So basically, you're allowed 1 hero death, is what it comes down to, or looks like. Your substitute will come in, and then it's off to the races, and we'll see what happens. So, I don't know. To be honest, my team's not shaping up too good here. My Bear Warrior is down. I don't know if I've downed any of my opponent's heroes at all. And I would say it looks like it's definitely looks like Chaplain was the key to this one here. So, really, ultimately, when you think about it, it's a real-time battle, right? And basically if I can find a way to win in real time. So it looks like I took out one of his. So we get the next round. So basically the reason you do 2 rounds also is to kind of account for any errors and allow you to make a better decision the next time around. So he'll get to go first when he selects here. So again, this is a pretty interesting feature of the game, right? You have access to certain things that you may not otherwise have. So makes it pretty interesting. Now, the one thing that I will say, and something of note for sure, is that the amount of stars that you have for heroes, it looks like those do not entirely carry over. Like, I definitely have Turtle Fighter, but he definitely is only 3 stars right now, and the same with Rose Fencer in my real game. So even though they're geared all the way up and leveled all the way up to level 5, here we are. So, okay, so there's my opponent's selection. Interesting. I think we could probably gain some benefit from a nice attacker. We can go ahead and we can add heals in there this go around. So again, this obviously, with everything that you've already seen here, this feature obviously is a little bit more time consuming than other features for sure. Let's see, how can we round this off here? I'm just gonna go with what I know because I use my Frost Mage, so let's see. We just need to see what his substitution is gonna look like. So I think this go around, like, I have heroes selected that are a little bit more PvP oriented. So I'm hoping for a better result this time. But basically, you can't use your heroes over again. So they definitely don't have the heals. So it should be pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure the first go around that I had, the person I might have been up against may have even just flat out forfeited. Yeah, this definitely looks a lot more promising than my first go. Oh, you have Hidden Needle in here. Oh, wow. This is a bit of a shocker for me, honestly. But again, I'm certainly not somebody I would consider to be super experienced at this type of challenge. So we'll see. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe my hidden needle can pull it off. Oh, nope. Lost right at the last moment. So there we go. So there you go. You've seen a fail. My first fail. I do stay at level 2, but let's just say hypothetically that I had won. And I'm not going to take you guys through it again because, like I said, it is fairly time consuming, and obviously with no guarantee that I'll be able to pull off a victory as I'm, kind of feeling my way through this. But as you win, you acquire chests, which will populate in the chest slots that you see here at the bottom. So I have 2 that are available already. If you feel like spending gems, you can unlock additional chest slots. But those chests, you open them, they don't cost, I don't believe. I had 1 chest, but I don't believe it costs anything to open it except for time. Like it takes some period of time, like 30 minutes or an hour or something, for that chest to open before you get your resource reward. So I would say all in all, as a relatively inexperienced player at the War of Gods specifically, I would say this is actually a pretty neat feature in the fact it's more like real-time PvP versus something that is just kind of set up. Like when you look at Arena, you set a defense up, and then when you go on offense, if you want to take down an opponent or increase your rank, you go against their defensive setup, but I can choose any offense that I want every single battle. This works very much the same way, except they try to put everybody on even playing field by raising everyone's level and gearing every hero out. Now it's up to you to make sure that your heroes are all 5 stars, so be sure that you have like an idea in the back of your mind as you come to approach it. But the real trick and the key here is that you and your opponent get to pick your heroes at the same time. So you are basically building teams against each other in real time. So the one piece of advice I can at least give you on this today, as a feature that's 2 days old, and for me and a player who's done this twice, be very cautious and careful of what your opponents pick, and then you probably want to try to gear your hero choices to be good counters to what your opponents are able to select or what they're lining up. Obviously, once you pick, so you pick 2, and then your opponent picks 2, and then it comes back to you for 2. Once you pick your 2 and you hit OK, those heroes are locked in. You can't remove them or change them later. So the idea behind this is that you're supposed to make a decision, stick with that decision, and then your opponent has an opportunity to make a decision to counter what you put in. So I didn't do so well this go around. We'll actually probably do a lot more of a live look-in on this feature as we move forward, because I have a feeling that this is going to be very, very popular. And with the types of rewards that are being given for doing it, it's going to be something that a lot of players and a lot of people are all over. So I think really honestly that wraps up the episode for today. We'll go ahead and we'll cut it off here. So thanks everyone for watching. Stay tuned for more episodes. I really hope to be back on like a daily release schedule next week. Just been a crazy week personally for me. But stay tuned, stay awesome, hit the like button and the subscribe button. We'll talk to you next time.